congratulations on the nomination. I know it's something that you often put to the back in your individual accolades and not team ones, but I guess it is a sign that things are going, that they're on the right track and have picked up in the last kind of 6-7 weeks.
Yeah, it's down to the players, to be honest. I think obviously as an award or an accolade or kind of comes down to me in that regard, but really it's about what the boys have done on the pitch and what they've done off the pitch in terms of the training and as a squad. We've had a good spell and something we need to build on. So yeah, it's great, but it probably just shows of what we've done of late and what we're capable of doing moving forward.
It's kind of taken its toll a little bit, hasn't it, in terms of injuries? What's the picture like at the moment? Any progress?
Pretty much the same, to be honest, at this stage. So yeah, as time goes, as the weeks pass, hopefully the lads will get closer. But at this stage, it's we are what we are.
And it doesn't get much tougher in the division, does it, than Leicester at the weekend? I mean, what are your thoughts on how they're performing at the moment? Did you expect that they would come in and have this kind of impact on the division?
I've been hugely impressed with what they've done and how they've done it. It's not easy. I think you can look at it in individuals, player-wise, and as a squad. They're largely a Premier League team, really, and Premier League club. That doesn't mean that it's easy to kind of drop down and put the results together that they have done and play so well. It's credit to them for that. So they're a good team. We know the challenge. It's a big test for us, but it's a good one. It's a terrific football game. Really good for us to kind of do what we're good at, and still try and win the game. And they're in a good position in the league and the top, and rightly so for the run they've been on. But we approach it for us and trying to be the best version of us and go into the game trying to win for sure.
And in Enzo Maresca, a new manager, his first kind of big job, trying to find his way in management. I mean, what have your impressions been of him so far? Yeah,
it's similar to the last answer, really. It's really impressed. I think it sounds straightforward, and it seems almost teams coming down should bounce straight back up if they keep a good part of the squad together and Premier League players and proven Premier League players. But it's not always easy as that. And a new manager, as you say, coming in, I think he's done very well, and you can clearly see how he wants to play, and they're coached very, very well. So there's a lot of work that's gone on, and credit to him for that. So I'm sure. Listen, they'll be right up there at the end of the season. If not winning the league, they'll be in the top two, I'd say. And, credit to them for that.
Cheers.
Michael, there are some who kind of say that Leicester have already won the league. I mean, it's too early to say that, surely.
It's still November, isn't it? By my stretch, and the league's the league for me. I don't pay much attention to the league at this stage of the season. I think it's picking up as many points as you can, and listen, they're in the position of picking up the most points so far, and credit to them for that. So, but in terms of winning the league, no. As I said on the last one there, I believe that they'll be there, right there or thereabouts at the end, without doubt. But there's still a long way to go. Yeah.
Not that the players would need any extra motivation, but does that add a bit of extra spice to the game? The fact that they're up there, they're the kind of target to hit.
I think it's just more about the challenge ahead, and we know we're playing against a really good team. So for that, we know we've got to be the best version of us, and we believe that if we do that, we do certain things in a certain way, then we'll have a good chance of winning. But yeah, as players, you want to challenge yourself. You want to play in the best possible games on offer, and certainly the way they play and the size of the club and the way they are in the league at the moment, it's a really good challenge for us, and the boys are looking forward to it.
The Championship is a hard league to get out of any year, but is it hardest this year because of the fact that the three clubs that have come down have just got on with it? Sometimes one or two will get on with it, but there's always a third that maybe don't quite have their act together. But this year it seems like all three of them have just taken to the Championship.
Yeah, they've been pretty solid largely, I think. And credit, as I said, to the three clubs. I mean, we played Southampton, and they had a little bit of a sticky patch, and there was questions asked. But I said at the time that that they're such a strong team and a good manager and a good club that they'll be up there, and they're on the way up there. And Leeds obviously have dealt with it very well and are hitting some really good form. So. Yeah, it's a tough league. It is always a tough league, but it is a very tough league this year. But credit to those teams for how they've dealt with it and how how they've moved on pretty quickly. And yeah, there's still a long way to go. There's still a long way to go for all of us, in the season, especially for us coming into December and January, how busy it is and how much progress you can make quickly, or you can go in the direction, but we're certainly looking up and looking forward to the challenges ahead.
Do you think that gap has got bigger between, teams that have been in the Championship for a little while and teams that are coming down and kind of having to mix it with them?
Listen, it's difficult for me to say in some way because I've been here a year now, and I can only kind of judge on what I've experienced myself. It kind of probably depends on year of who comes down and what type of club they are, what kind of structure they got, how strong the squad that they're able to keep. So it's difficult to say. We are where we are. I think we in largely quite happy where we are at the moment in terms of the structure, the setup, the strength of the squad we've got, and we're looking up. We look to improve. That's all we can do. We can control what we're trying to do.
Just last question. On Monday, it's the funeral of Sir Bobby Charlton. Very sad day. Someone, of course, who you knew very well. I just wonder kind of what your memories of Sir Bobby are and how you reflect on Monday.
Yeah, well, I'll be there. I'm going to go and pay my respects. I think he's a huge inspiration to me and to be honest, everyone who's come across him. I think he's an extremely special man, incredible footballer, of course, and done unbelievable things for Manchester United, for the country, and but certainly for me personally, of the levels of support and the friendship and getting to know him and feeling that how much he cared for the players when I was a player at Manchester United was unbelievably inspirational. So it's been a sad period of time, and Monday hopefully is tough as it is and as sad as it is, it'll be a celebration of how special Sir Bobby was as a footballer, as a man, and we'll have to celebrate as best as we can because he's an incredible man.
Michael, just on the injury front, you've mentioned there that no change this weekend, but with the international break coming up, are there some of the boys who are potentially a bit closer to rejoining training?
Not massively close, to be honest, no.
So how long term are we looking on some of them? Like
it depends really. It's like Riley's got a problem with his foot, so that'll be a period of time, a number of weeks, and everybody else is a little bit further than that.
Right. On Josh, we spoke to Josh after the game at Plymouth, and of course it's no secret that he was there was plans for him to potentially go to Plymouth on loan in the summer. We spoke to him after the game about that uncertainty and him coming back from injury that he got in pre-season, and just working as hard as he could to try and convince you. In terms of that period, what did he do specifically in that period that made you think we should keep Josh here?
Just showed what he could do, really. Specifically, just being himself, saying that he's a real threat. He's a real important part of the squad and the team, really, and give us something that we didn't maybe have within the group. We want the flexibility, we wanted the variety, and I think he showed what he's capable of, really, and alongside Manu, especially as kind of a 2 9s and the 2 strong options up there, it gave us a really good balance.
Yeah, and one thing Josh said was he was thankful to you for keeping him in the team, because obviously he's had that little period where he hasn't perhaps scored as many as he would have liked, and obviously, as you say, Manu's been pushing hard whenever he's had the opportunity as well. What was it about what Josh was doing without the goals that made you kind of stick with him?
I didn't have to stick with him. I think it's just picking a team from week to week, and obviously having a plan and what it's goals. Yeah, goals win your games, of course they do. But I think it's we don't just judge players on what goals they score. Or I think it's there's a lot more than that, really. There'll be times when he's playing. There'll be times when he sits out, whether he's rested or he has a period out, and we've got to manage that. He's still young, Josh, and learning and developing. And we've got good options within the group, and I keep saying that. So it's a constant balance, really. It's a constant balance, but we know what Josh is capable of. We know how much more he can develop, and it's up to us to try and help him do that.
You talked Leicester up there, but you also spoke about the fact that you want to do your thing and focus on yourself. How important is that, particularly against one of the better teams in the league, that you still, impress upon the players the importance of, sticking to what they're good at?
Yeah, it's massive. I think that's the belief and the confidence we've got in each other, really. And it's not one game. This game's not going to make or break our season or tell the story of the season by any stretch. So it's what you do over a period of time that does that. And for us, we believe that being consistent and trying to do the things we know that we're good at more often, then that'll give us the best chance. And whether that's against a team near the top or a team that's a little bit further down the league, it doesn't really change how we approach it. Probably that little edge of extra knowing that you're coming up against what at the minute is the best team in the league, and you've got to be right spot on with your performance, gives you that extra little bit of an edge, and concentration levels need to be spot on. So, but in terms of what we do, yeah, it's hopefully the consistency and the messages and knowing how good the boys can be, that'll benefit us in the long run.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot, and particularly this week with the King's Speech and the government's plans to press forward with a football regulator. There's a lot of talk around parachute payments and the kind of division that they cause in the Championship. But from Borough's perspective, as a club who don't get parachute payments, what can a club like Middlesbrough do as to bridge that gap and stay competitive?
For me, in terms of the club and payments, and that's not for me to get involved in, really. I'm here to focus on, right, as a team, what can we do? How can I be the best manager, the best coach? What do the players need? In the end, it's about the players. What do they need to be the best they can be? And developing the players we've got is a massive focus, and getting the best out of them and helping them learn. And then obviously adding to the group and making the group as good as we can, and whatever the resources are, however much money there is there to spend, there's only so much, and we're only allowed to spend so much as well, and it's just got to make the best of it. Whether there's other people out there who are bigger, have more money or less money or whatever it is, that's not really for me to worry about. It's about what's in these walls of the training ground to make the best of it.
Yeah, just lastly from me, there's been a bit of kind of analysis this week, in the week off, on some of the goals you've been conceding, and there's been a lot of what you might call worldies, like low expectation goals. We saw 2 at Exeter, 1 at Plymouth. Do you simply just look at that and say, yeah, fair play, that's a good goal, or do you have to look at it a bit more sophisticated than that and look at how you can avoid those goals?
No goodness, no one you concede is a good goal, trust me. So
yeah.
Listen, I think we can appreciate the quality of the strikes. I think there's always something that, with every goal that's scored, there's the defending team can always do something about whatever phase of that play that you can affect the goal. So we can't just brush it under the carpet. There's definitely goals where it's gone in, and something you look and you think that wouldn't go in every week. So there's a balance. There's a balance. I think we've done a lot of good things without the ball. I think with defending as a team an awful lot better, with defending our goal in our box an awful lot better, and by the looks of the goals that are going in, we need to stop some shots, but I don't think you can concede throughout the season as many shots from outside the box as we have, and down to the quality of the strikes, really. A lot of the goals is not really it's not a goalkeeping thing. It's not necessarily always can we close down more. Sometimes it is a little bit one of those periods of time, but I can't help but think it can always be a little bit better. We can always do something to improve that.